Hello,
Hello.
everybody. I'm Ricky Smith. Welcome to Faith on Friday Presents. At Faith on Friday Presents, we're all about highlighting inspiring people, engaging topics, and small businesses. And while you're here, go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. You never know what you're going to see. All right, everybody. So all of you all who love MMA, boxing, and anything else that I think is violent, you are going to enjoy today. I'm going to introduce you to a former MMA fighter, a trainer, as well as a transformational coach who deals with MMA and how that relates to business. Y'all are going to enjoy this. Everybody, please say hello to Clifford Starks. Hey, Clifford, how are you?
Hey, Ricky, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I love your background so much. That is so good.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm excited to have this conversation because
Me
in life we
too.
get punched in the face.
And we're going to start right off punching folks in the face.
Oh
Y'all,
yeah.
what could go wrong? I love this so much. Clifford, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're located.
Yeah, so I'm Phoenix, Arizona. Um, Real quick snippet of me, 4, 5, and 6. When I was 4, my biological dad drove out of my life. When I was 5, my grandfather passed away. And when I was 6, my mom remarried to the guy I call dad to this day. So, in a quick nutshell, I say, okay, there's people who are supposed to be there who will not be there. There's people who don't have to be there and they choose to be there, and we're all gonna die. So we gotta live life to the fullest of our abilities.
Wow, check please. That's pretty much everything. Thank you all for coming. No, I'm kidding. That is a lot, but that's so good and so profound. We're definitely going to get into that.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there in an MMA cage. Clifford, what is going on with the MMA? Tell us about that.
Well, the first time I got into an MMA cage, I was like, I can't believe I'm really doing this. And my brain was actually a lot along the ride with me on it. Like, why are we doing this again? Um, but wow, what a rush. What an absolute
Man.
rush going through that process and so many learning lessons
Hmm.
with each fight. Honestly, like each fight had its own variety of learning lessons that
Wow.
I've gotten to apply on my journey
Hmm.
today.
So how did you get into MMA? Let's start there. Did you lose a bet? What happened right there? Why? Why did you think it was a good idea to get into a closed cage with some other individual who basically wants to pound you to pieces? What were you thinking, sir?
It was a variety of things. So one, I'm competitive. I'm super, super competitive.
Mhm.
And I actually was a personal trainer before then. And I trained women,
Oh,
like
wow.
generally like a bunch of women.
Mhm.
And I know that maybe people will get this, maybe they won't. But I go, okay, if I'm a guy who can train a bunch of women and survive that, surely I could get into a cage. Surely I could get into a cage.
There are so many problems with that statement, but I'm gonna let you slide
I know,
currently. Keep
I
talking,
know,
sir.
I know. Like, and the way I look at it, it was such a great realization for me because I had to have my own perspective shifts.
Hmm.
Just being a personal trainer, working with women,
Hmm.
and I like pushing the envelope. That's what I like to
Wow.
do. So I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, well, what's the next crazy thing that I can do? What's the next crazy thing that I can do?
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, I know. I can get in a cage with someone who's the same size and strength as me, looking to do the same thing I'm looking to do to them. I was right.
Absolutely.
It's really hard.
Yeah, I bet. Now, when you were training the women, were you training them in MMA or were you just doing personal training like gym training?
Personal training, gym training. And
Okay.
what was interesting, so now that I'm a business coach, one thing that I didn't realize, I was training this thing. This
Mm-hmm.
is all I was training for people.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you train this thing, everything else falls into falls into play and into
Yes, it
alignment.
does. Wow.
Yeah.
So how long did you fight MMA?
7 years.
7 years. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. What was the training like for something like that? Because those of us who watch MMA, when I say those of us, I don't mean me, just FYI. I'm sorry. It's just not my jam. I just don't
Yeah,
get it. But for
yeah,
folks that watch MMA, we see the result of your training. What
yeah.
does the actual training look like though?
You know, there's a guy, Myron Golden. I love the way this guy speaks, and he says, an amateur practices until they get it right,
Mm.
and a professional practices until they can't get it wrong.
Woo!
Um, yeah, that's the way I practice, not only in MMA, but in life in general.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
someone said how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Hmm.
And I really tend to agree with that. So the trainings, they were tough and they revealed pieces of me. You know, they
Hmm.
helped me become better at what I wanted to do in my life.
Hmm.
I would do heel runs, different combinations, multiple times. Bruce Lee talks about, I fear the man who throws one kick 1,000 times or 10,000 times more than the
Hmm.
man who throws 10,000 kicks one time. So
Hmm.
it's really staying intentional with what you're doing so that you can have your craft work for you
Yeah.
instead of against you.
That is so good. So the first time you got into that cage, and as
Mhm.
your mind asked you, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And though you're super competitive, what were you thinking? What was literally going through your mind besides, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're in here. And you have trained and
Yeah.
you're in this cage now. Now what?
You know, you you don't remember all of those pieces and they're not from concussions. Like your body's going through so much adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's such an adrenaline rush that your training's gonna take over for you.
Mm,
You're
mm-hmm.
nervous. Your brain's
Yeah.
terrified because
Wow.
your brain's job is to keep you safe,
Right.
and then you're going into danger. Like you're like walking into danger.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I'm just gonna shut up. Like I don't even know. You don't even listen to me anyway,
That's
so I'm
right.
just gonna shut up. Yeah,
So good luck with that, bro.
yeah, yeah. But it's really everything goes into slow motion,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to see who you are. And what I mean, get to see who you are, sometimes you are the hammer, and
Hmm.
sometimes you're the nail. And sometimes you're the
Wow.
hammer and the nail at the same time. You get to
Mm-hmm.
see, like, okay, are you going to show up? You were the nail right now. Are you going to stay the nail or are you going to become the hammer?
Oh my gosh. It's something I've always wondered because like I said, I'm not an MMA fan. I just can't do it. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
What is it like? You're doing the grappling thing, you're doing all the things, you're rolling around on the floor, you're slamming people. What does that what is it like to hit somebody like that and get hit like that?
This is going to sound crazy, probably. Have you ever played chess?
No.
You never played chess? Okay.
Mm-mm.
Have you ever played any strategic game that you really, really like?
Yeah, I guess if you can call checkers and tic-tac-toe, I mean, I got nothing.
Okay, that's something. That's something. So, um, I think of checkers like 3D chess, right? Just
Okay.
more variety that you can move with.
Mm.
And I look at it like it's a chess game. It's a
Hmm.
strategy. And I'm trying to impose my strategy on someone else and they're trying to impose their strategy on me. And it
Wow.
sounds kind of weird like you're punching someone in the face.
Yeah.
Like yeah, but it's strategy to me. It's really about being strategic.
Hmm. Uh, that's just so interesting. I would have never put that together with getting
Mhm.
punched in the face.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
you did this for 7 years.
Yep.
What made you leave? Why were you finished?
Um my body knew it was done before I knew I was done.
Mm,
And I had my first son.
ah,
And I remember like freaking it, like I was freaked out. Like I felt nerves, but I never felt like completely freaked out before.
mm-hmm.
I'm freaked out, right?
Wow.
And I'm going towards the cage and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, what is the issue? They closed the cage door. I'm getting ready to fight a Russian guy. That didn't make things any better because they're tough as nails. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I really don't want to get hurt because I got to watch my kid tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh my
Priorities
goodness.
changed a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Mindset, mind shift.
Yep.
So you finally leave the cage for the last time.
Hmm.
You're at home with your new kid. who's probably super glad that dad didn't get pounded into the dust the day before.
Yes.
And you're looking at this beautiful boy. What is going through your mind as what's next?
Sounds just like Clifford. I'm going to go into this new venture, hit it out of the park, and call it a day. So I'm
Wow.
like, oh, I'm going to build a business. I'm going to build a business, build an empire, take care of my family, and support 1 billion people.
All
And
right
yeah,
now.
I really said that. Yeah, 1 billion people. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
crazy.
Well, you had me crazy at I walked into a cage and they closed the door and now I'm gonna
Oh
fight.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I already
Yeah.
figured out where you were with that whole thing. So helping a billion people, yeah, not so bad.
Yep.
So what was the plan though? How are you going to build this empire? How are you going to build this business? How are you going to help 1 billion people?
Yeah, so I didn't know how I was going to support 1 billion people. Um, the empire, I started doing Amazon and I was doing arbitrage. So I
Okay.
was gonna buy low and sell for higher profit
Mm-hmm.
and do it on a wholesale and sell it for retail. Um, that was the plan,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was just going to work seamlessly and easily, kind of like a movie that just says the end and like nothing
Yeah.
bad happened, like everything
Mm-hmm.
was good. Wasn't like
It's
that at
amazing
all.
how life doesn't work out like that, isn't
Yeah, I
it?
was like, dang, that's not what I was thinking.
That wasn't the plan. So then what did you do next?
So I got into it. I got some coaching in it,
Mhm.
and I started really learning about myself and learning about business. Like,
Yeah.
talk about dog eat dog. Like, it was a place where
Mm.
you would put your stuff up and then people would lie, people would cheat. So I'll give you an example.
Wow.
When you're buying things and selling them, so are other people.
Mhm.
And some people don't like to play fair. And what they'll do is they'll buy all of your inventory, destroy it, send it back to you, and say, "Oh, well, th- your stuff was faulty, blah 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 blah, and
Wow.
this is why it was the way that it was." Yeah, and you can tell who is it's called FBA, fulfillment by Amazon,
Mhm.
because of the way they speak.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
they speak like in a fulfillment by Amazon, not like an Amazon custom. And
Mhm.
so part of the game.
Wow, that is a rough game. I had a guest on a couple of months ago, and I asked her what was her favorite sport, and she
Mhm.
said business. She
Yeah.
said it is the most competitive sport that there
Yep.
is.
Yep.
Wow, and you just said the same thing pretty much.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
then you got into coaching yourself. You then became Coach Cliff. What is it
Mhm.
that you coach your clients around?
So I coach people in full showing up at their fullest potential.
Mm.
And showing up at their fullest potential, I ultimately say if you're the right person with the right tools and the right skill sets, you end up winning this game called life.
Mm.
And so I
Yes.
support business owners, I support entrepreneurs, because the truth is, I think we're all a business. We just
Mm.
don't realize it. We're
Yeah.
in the business of self. And when we go like, okay, what do I want to create? Why do I want to create it? We all have a dream. We all
Mm-hmm.
had a dream. And sometimes it gets beaten out of us. And I've been one of those people. I'm grateful for the beginning of my journey because it reminded me, go live out your dreams. So I would live a dream and then I'd create a bigger dream and then a
Right.
bigger dream and then a bigger dream.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And so as you're building your dreams and helping people build their dreams, what do you do to help them get to that dream? Because, a lot of people, especially in business, we don't dream bigger. We think of
Yeah,
things, but we're not dreaming big. And if we
yeah,
do dream, we're not setting any plans in place to make that dream a reality. So, how do you help
yeah.
your clients?
I ask them the questions no one else asked them
Wow.
because the answer is not in me, it's in them. It
Mm-hmm.
always was. And it
Mm-hmm.
was actually good for me to go through my process, even as a personal trainer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
as a personal trainer, The reason I said I went from one extreme to another extreme,
Mhm.
I'm a guy. I think like a guy,
Sure.
but I like seeing people win. And so
Hmm.
I would have to figure out like, okay, how do I say this in the way that it gets through, and how do I do? And one interesting time I had, I would have women who would think I couldn't train their bodies effectively
Hmm.
because I'm a woman, you're a guy, even
Right.
though they're
Wow.
paying me to do it.
Hmm.
They're paying me to do it, and I realized, oh, the human mind is hilarious.
Yeah.
All of ours is, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody's is crazy. And what I would do is I would find other women who did listen to me and
Hmm.
would get in shape,
Hmm.
and they would listen to them. I'm
Yeah.
result based. I like finding the result. I don't
Hmm.
care where the result comes from. I just want to get people their results that
That's
they're looking
good.
for. And so I got really good at doing that, figuring
Yeah.
out, okay, what's the result that they want, and how do I get them the result?
Hmm.
And how do I ask the questions in a way that hits them to go
Yeah.
like, oh crap, if I did this, this will happen.
Hmm. Man, that is so crazy. I was thinking about, your different experiences, and I loved how you put the you in a nutshell. That was
Mhm.
it, 3, 5, and 6.
Yep.
I love that analogy going through that. So then you did that, then you started training women, then you became an MMA fighter, then you became a coach. How did all of those experiences help you help your clients?
It allows me to not judge and observe.
Mm,
We're
that's
all in
good.
this together. Yeah, we're
Hmm.
all in this together. And every time I do something, it's always harder than what I thought it was. Every single time. Every single time. And I swear, and I'm almost sure I'm gonna do it again. I'm like sure I'm gonna do it again.
And
Or I'm
then
like,
that
oh,
begs the question again,
this
what
won't be
is
so
wrong with
hard. Oh
you?
crap. That was hard.
So let me do it one more time. Oh my gosh. So the clients, you say you work with business owners. What kind of
Mhm.
business owners? Because you've got the Fortune 500 business companies, you got the small business owners, you got the solopreneurs. What businesses are you working with?
Yeah, yeah. So I have a niche of business owners who are making 2 million to 10 million. They have 6 employees that they're working with.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, I want to take that lid off of the niche, and this is why.
Mm,
There are people who are just crazy who want something that doesn't exist yet.
love
It
that.
doesn't even exist yet. Those are the people that I like to work with
Hmm.
because they're the ones who will push the envelope and change things for all of us.
My goodness. That is so true and so good. Because, like I said, some of those Fortune 500 companies, they too started in the garage. They didn't
Yep.
start out making $2 million, but where they are now is where you're finding them. But now you're trying to go back to get them where they started.
Yeah.
Man, that's huge. I mean, because there are so many small business owners and solopreneurs who are looking for you, but thinking,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm not in your niche, if you will. So therefore, he's not going to work with me. I can't even afford to talk to him." What would you
Yeah.
say to that business owner?
I got something for everybody.
Oh, there you go.
One person says, and they say, you can't sell to everybody, but I can ask everybody a question.
Hmm.
And so the question is, what's your big dream? And are you dreaming big enough?
Hmm.
That's
I
all
like
I
that.
need.
What
Yeah.
should you dream?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm thinking about that myself. What should I dream? I have problems because I dream big, silly stuff, but that's my practice on purpose and by design.
I like it.
Wow. So you can just go in, start asking them questions. And like you said, the answer is in them already. So you are the trainer, if you will, who's going to
Mhm.
pull that genius, that brilliance, that idea out of them so that they
Yeah.
can see it on their own.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I'll even give an example. So I have 3 coaches that I'm working,
Okay.
and every coach should have a coach. Like it would
100%.
be kind of an yeah, it'd be kind of an oxymoron if they didn't.
Mhm.
But most people wouldn't say something like, I want to influence 1 billion people. Like
Mhm.
I put myself in pers- purposeful, uncomfortable situations
Yeah, sounds
because
like it.
now, yeah, now I'm like, integrity is important to me. So now I
Sure.
have to go after it because I said it.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, some of my clients, they're afraid to tell me things because they know once they tell me it, like, remember what you said?
Yeah, because
I
now
got
they're
it recorded.
accountable.
I got it recorded if you forgot.
Yeah.
And that's that piece where it's like, and I get it. We are afraid to be judged. We're
Mm-hmm.
terrified.
Sure.
Oh, well, if
Because
I
people
don't
are
say
mean.
it, yeah, if I don't say it, then it's okay.
Yeah.
No, say that. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna cuss. I'm gonna respect the podcast, but I was getting ready to. Like,
So I
say what you're
appreciate
gonna
that. Thank you so much.
yeah, say what you're gonna say. Let it
Yeah.
out. Let it all
Mm-hmm.
out. And
Yeah.
let the pieces come together with the actions that you take.
Mm. I like that. Let the pieces come together with the actions that you take. That is so good. Cliff, if somebody wanted to work with you or continue this conversation, where's the best place for them to find you?
Yeah. Well, thank you, and thank you for having me on. So for me, you can find me on my Facebook, Clifford Starks. You can also find me on LinkedIn, and you can find me on my website, thefightersformula.com.
I like it, the fighter's formula. Don't worry, y'all. If you did not get his contact information, everything is going to be in the description below. And don't forget, while you're here, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram too. Cliff, my friend, before I let you go, we got to
Yes,
play a
ma'am.
game.
All right, game time.
I know you're super competitive, but you can't lose at this game. So I don't know. The stakes aren't that high, my friend. So the game is called What's Your Favorite? It's a way for us to get to know you a little better and to learn some really cool stuff about you. Are you ready to play, my friend?
Ready? Let's do it.
All right, here we go. What is your favorite position on the plane? Aisle seat or that window? Which one do you like the best?
Window all day long.
Really, you like the window?
I like the
Yeah.
window.
I'm
Yeah.
one of the weird people. I like sitting in the middle. I like the middle
Do
seat.
you?
Yeah. I don't know why. Probably
I
because
know
I'm
people
uh,
everywhere love you because whenever there's choice seating, the middle is never taken.
it yeah. And for me, I don't know, maybe it's that cozy thing. I don't know, but I enjoy sitting there. I like that's my favorite. Okay, what's your favorite physical activity now?
Hiking. I love to hike.
Okay. What? There's
Yeah.
no fighting involved unless you're planning to go up there and look for a bear that you're gonna have to
Yeah,
fight. What's
yeah.
your problem?
The interesting thing. So what I like about entrepreneurship is I don't
Mm.
get punched in the face. I actually didn't. That was not my goal or intention. I wanted to
Yeah.
punch people in the face, not get punched in the face. Yeah,
Well,
like so I tried to get punched as little as possible.
that's a great goal for an MMA
Yeah,
fighter. Just
yeah.
putting that out there. Sir, what is your favorite adult beverage?
Huh. Honestly, it's a margarita. I know. I
Really?
know. Yeah.
Well, where I live at, a margarita is life. Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
make a good
I
margarita.
love margaritas. They're
Oh my
so
gosh.
yeah, they're so amazing.
Well, then you'd love West Texas because we do margaritas really good.
Nice.
What is your favorite time of year?
What is my favorite time of year? I actually like, and this is gonna show again how crazy I am. I like the summers because they're so hot. I
There's
have
so
lost
many,
my mind.
there's so many problems here,
Yeah,
Clifford. There's
I have really.
so many
I
problems here.
remember I had a coach. I had a coach. Um, this was in football, and he said, "How hot is it?" And we would say, "Not hot enough." How hot is it? Not hot enough. Check this out. We are conditioning our brains all the time. So you know David Goggins?
I'm not familiar with the name, no.
Okay, he is. So he was a Navy SEAL. The guy's an absolute beast,
Hmm.
and he is a little crazy. And by a little, I mean a lot of crazy, because that's coming from me. So that's really, really crazy. Like he make Cliff's calling him crazy. So, but we condition our minds to be a
Hmm.
certain way.
Yeah.
Now, here's what's interesting. If we're going after our freedom and like the truest level of freedom,
Mhm.
you're going to have to do things that other people don't do.
That's true. That is
And
so
so in order
true.
to do in order to do what other people don't do, you got to be different here. You
Yeah,
do.
all
Like
day,
there's no
every day.
way about it.
Nope, there
So
isn't.
as I go through crazy, I like saying crazy as a fox. If you listen close enough and you start
Yeah.
listening to what Cliff's doing and how he's doing it, it seems kind of like, ooh, that's pretty nuts. Like, wow, he's not that nuts.
Well,
He's got a plan. He's
there,
got a
there you
plan.
go. It's a plan. And
Yeah.
finally,
Yes.
Cliff, what is one thing that people don't know about you that you wish they did?
That I wish that they did.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool question. Okay. Um, I really have love for people, like real intentional love. And I'm intentionally, they know I'm competitive. They already got that part down.
Yeah.
Um, I am also competitive in loving people and
Mm-hmm.
reminding people that they have way more than they ever give themselves credit for. And I think
Wow.
people are too busy beating themselves up
Mm-hmm.
instead of saying, how do I become that person that I want to
Yeah. Wow, that is so good. Clifford, my friend, thank you so